Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. We're going to quickly jump into CoinGecko here. We're currently sitting at a $1.99 trillion market cap, currently up 0.2%. Looking at the top 10 here, Bitcoin sitting at 41,764, Ethereum sitting at 3,000, Tether is Tether, Binance Coin sitting at 414, Cardano sitting at $1.12, Solana sitting at 113, XRP sitting at 67 cents. Dot is sitting at $21 and Terra sitting at $54. And as you can see, we got some double digit gainers with Shiba and a lot of other gainers. Let's see what the 24-hour looks like with the highest gainers. Gal is still sitting up pretty high. Axie Infinity's up. There's a lot of positivity that's going on within the market as of now. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're currently sitting at that fear range 37. So this is huge for us from what we've been. Obviously, we're still in this, the negative side of this index graph here. But, this is some positives. Coming over here to CNBC, we're looking at the markets here. The S&P 500's up 0.5%. The NASDAQ is up 1.58%. But coming over here to crypto, you're seeing a lot more positivity too. They do show Ethereum down 0.36%, but we're up from where we've been the past couple of weeks. Coming over here to this top article right here, it's going to kind of make me think where we've been talking about and how, with the FUD that's going on in the market, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and what's causing a lot of sell off and fear in the markets. And a big part of it is the inflation data. So, you have like CPI stuff, consumer stuff when it comes to how the labor market's looking like. Do we have high unemployment? A lot of stuff, and the uncertainty with Jerome Powell and the Fed and how they're going to tackle inflation with their tapering and their interest rate hikes. This article kind of sparked my mind up a little bit. It says fresh inflation data could fuel further market volatility in the week ahead. It says the inflation data is to focus in the coming week after a stunning jump in January's jobs triggered speculation the Federal Reserve could be more aggressive about raising interest rates. The Consumer Price Index is reported Thursday, and the headline number is expected at 7.2%, the hottest since 1982. There are also dozens of earnings to be released. So there's so much stuff that is getting ready to come out and getting ready to be reported that can truly, create a lot of volatility within the space, whether it's positive or negative. Now, we've been seeing a lot of negative within the past few weeks. So if we do come out with, like how they say, some aggressive, interest rate hikes, which it should be almost calculated into the market already. But it's like, if that does come out, we can't expect some negative volatility, bringing us back down to the downside. And it is what it is. As much as we don't like to think that our market, the crypto market, isn't correlated to the regular stock market, it is. It is what it is. So I just kind of wanted to bring that up so we can expect to see a lot of this data coming out and then, see how our markets respond to it. I wanted to start here with this tweet from Blockworks. It says 39% of the U.S. debt was created after Bitcoin's inception. So as we've already been covering, inflation is massive, okay, and we've been printing after printing after printing. There's been a lot of printing in Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad, a famous author, he says, the Fed and Treasury are destroying the dollar. So he advises that, you save gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So obviously for us, when we see, these three items here that he recommends, we obviously gravitate towards Bitcoin. And obviously we talked about, what is a good hedge against inflation, and based on, market sentiment and what's been going on, we've been seeing that Bitcoin in the crypto market is a great hedge against, inflation, yet our market still has been decimated. Like the regular market is still seen as a great hedge. Now, in comparison to him, he's, an older guy. Gold and silver is, high on his list. Obviously, he threw Bitcoin in there, but comparing the three, Blockworks had tweeted, JP Morgan says, Bitcoin beats gold in scarcity, durability, portability, fungibility, divisibility, verification, and censorship resistance. So absolutely. So that's why we value Bitcoin in the crypto market so much, because we see the writing on the wall and what it's capable of. I wanted to come over here and touch on this. Russian government to present regulatory scenarios for cryptocurrencies within a week. It says the federal government of Russia should be ready with different regulatory scenarios for the country's crypto market by the end of the next working week. Documents from a recent meeting have indicated the executive power in Moscow favors regulation over the prohibition of the cryptocurrencies and related activities. government inclined to legalize rather than ban crypto in Russia. So this is absolutely massive. And quite honestly, we've been hearing talks about, the U.S. falling further and further behind when it comes to crypto regulation, crypto adoption. Obviously we regulate, in a sense, the SEC. When I say we, I mean the SEC is regulating on enforcement right now. There's really no true regulatory clarity or framework out there that's pertinent to, this ongoing emerging technology of crypto that's fair and just, that's going to allow the a space to grow and be prosperous. The way they're regulating through enforcement right now is only hindering the innovation, and quite honestly, it's running this technology and the people working behind this technology outside of the United States. So obviously got the Russian government coming out with them trying to properly regulate it and legalize it rather than ban it. So we need to kind of get on our high horse, because you got stuff like this coming out. So this is the Wall Street Journal. I'm not going to go through this article. You can read this article yourself, but it says Russia and China partnership against the U.S. Two leaders meet in Beijing and pledge to provide new leadership seeking to nudge American aside. So we have to be very careful about what we're doing here in regards of this crypto adoption. Do we as in the United States want to fall behind everybody else around the world when it comes to adopting this technology? So I wanted to come over here because I feel like Chris Larson does a great job of kind of touching on why it's important that we get this right. When I mean by we get this right, we get the regulatory clarity that's necessary and that's proper for the crypto space to flourish. That way you don't hinder the innovation and growth within the space, and the United States doesn't fall behind other people. So let's listen in and see what he has to say.
Rank now, it's probably 10th. And the risk there is you do have the talent here. You do have these incredible capital markets all the way from seed to public and beyond. All the same stuff we have with the internet that led to success. The missing ingredient is this framework of sort of clear and consistent. We don't have that yet. And that's got to come from the top. So you kind of hope that the Biden administration is going to see that we haven't slipped behind in a fatal way yet. But, oh, man, if we are taking that for granted, we are in big trouble. So we've got to get our act together. And again, many of those 8 federal regulators are phenomenal, right? I would say Treasury, FinCEN at this point, and you would have thought FinCEN in the early days that's what everybody was afraid of, right? How are they going to look at crypto, right? They've been great, actually. And they've been working on some very sophisticated things around working with the industry, for example, on crypto and the prevention of child sexual abuse material. They make great strides, and they work well with the industry. And they're actually solving what potentially could have been a problem. I think that problem's getting solved. So all great. The Federal Reserve has worked really well in these areas for a long time. They've always been great. CFTC, I think, has been terrific. You could go on and on and on. I think the one area that has been really problematic for the U.S., no surprise I'm going to say this, but the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. I know that it's a tough job. I know that they are well-intentioned in protecting folks. But again, it's got to be both protecting folks and fostering innovation. Otherwise, we are going to lose this one. If we lose this one, that is a huge blow to the country. It's a huge blow to Americans. All those issues we talked about finally getting the advantage of globalization, I think that goes out the window if all these innovators are going to Singapore and the UK, or even more concerning, are going to be run by the other very successful internet powerhouse, which is China. And they are way ahead of us. So we have got to start taking this seriously. And that has to mean that the SEC gives clarity, and clarity in both protecting consumers and fostering innovation. It's got to be both of those things. And it's got to be consistent and fair, frankly. And we haven't had that yet. And I'm hoping that we do get that.
So absolutely massive. So pretty much what I was just covering. And I want to thank Real XRP Boy for putting up this tweet thread that he covered here. So listen to what he truly said. The SEC is problematic for the U.S. You're hindering the adoption and growth and innovation within this space, and you're pushing it elsewhere. Yes, let's set up a framework to protect people, to protect investors, but let's also foster that innovation. And I love how he says we need to take this serious, because there are high powers out there that are adopting this, pushing us further behind the rest of the crowd, which isn't good. So let's move on here. Some positives. You have the super chain Everbull adopts Bitcoin standards. So we tweeted this on our channel, on our Twitter, and it says the California-based food chain said inflation and eroding purchasing powers of the fiat currencies prompted the switch into Bitcoin. Everbowl, a craft superfood chain based in California, will now run its business operations on Bitcoin Standard and convert all of its cash reserves to Bitcoin, the company said in a Friday statement. Quote, it says, we've concluded that running the business exclusively on cash isn't the most advantageous nor the safest method of running a business in 2022 and beyond. And that was from Jeff Finster, the CEO. He says, also, I understand that it is still early in terms of corporate adoption as well as governmental adoption of Bitcoin, but we plan to make a contribution to this cause by leading with our example. So that's absolutely massive for the space, and hats off to them. And it's, as you can see, it's a domino effect. Once one company does it, and then you start seeing other people doing it, and it's quite evident with this. Coming over here, something else massive. So we talked about Crypto.com having the partnership with the used to be Staples Center, now it's Crypto.com Arena. Stuff is happening. Look, Tezos set to announce sponsorship deal with Manchester United. Report the deal for the UK soccer team's training kit is for more than 27 million per year. So you have Cristiano Ronaldo's always have trouble with his name. But anyways, a major soccer player out there says the Tesla logo may soon be gracing Manchester United Cristiano Ronaldo's training kit. So no, that's absolutely massive. Hats off to Tezos and their company. That's absolutely massive for the space. More eyes, more awareness to what crypto has to offer. Another positive here, you have Miami has earned $5 million in counting in Miami coin funds. Known for its particularly favorable view on cryptocurrencies, the city of Miami has just ranked in $5 million for the first city coin. So that's huge. I mean, you got like San Francisco following suit soon. So that domino effect that's happening, just once one top falls, boom, 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 then it just keeps going down. I wanted to end this video on this tweet from Michael Saylor, and obviously we know Michael Saylor is a big advocate of Bitcoin, but he says Bitcoin is the price of freedom. So quite honestly, I think it's crypto in general. So whatever asset you invest in, obviously, doing your due diligence, making sure it's a legit project, solving a real world problem that has, true staying power based on the information we have out there. I feel like crypto assets is the price of freedom. And that's what, my whole concept behind this channel is. Obviously, it's just a conversation and my take on the markets, but I truly feel like crypto is key to financial freedom and life-changing wealth. And that's where he's saying here, Bitcoin is the price of freedom. I think crypto is the price of freedom. We're super early. We're sitting under a $2 trillion market cap right now. We're so early to the party. Crypto is the price of freedom. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.